I'm standing out there just having a cup of coffee, minding my own business. Now, when I'm not doing the public speaking and stuff, I'm not out there telling people I motivate. I'm actually people kind of misinterpret me a little bit because when I'm not speaking, I'm pretty shy, I'm pretty quiet. Never set off to do this with any kind of purpose. It just, I fell in love with encouraging people. So I'm just kind of standing there, and I hear somebody on the second tier yell down, "Kicking the attitude guy!" I'm like, oh no. Here he comes down the stairs. He runs up to me and goes, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, I'm getting an oil change. He goes, I'm like, "It's going to happen every 3,000 miles. Kind of wanted to ask him, "So what's your schedule like? What days are you not here?" And then he says this. He goes, "It is so cool you're here." He goes, "We're about to do a sales meeting." He goes, "I do a sales meeting every month, but," he goes, "I like to do something upbeat and positive and inspirational and motivational." I mean, he's getting into it. And I just want to tell him, okay, settle down. I don't want to have to get a defibrillator, And that's what it was like. And so he goes, "Would you come up and give us a kick in the attitude? Just talk to us for like 20 minutes?" Kind of put me on the spot. I think I'm not in sweatpants, but I'm pretty, I'm not there to impress. Just having a cup of coffee, being a normal Joe. And I said, "Well, I'm not cheap." And he goes, "We'll give you a free oil change." Let's do it. I'm not cheap, but I like a good deal. Now, what I'm about to tell you is very interesting. He goes, "Right, let's go." And he begins to, like a gallop or a prance kind of thing. Now, he's like maybe, like 5'11". He begins to, he's running away like that, and I don't know what to do because he is the leader in this moment. So I begin to follow him. Just like, man, this guy. And the whole time I'm just talking to I was kind of afraid because I'd never talked to car salespeople before. I really thought they were going to be like, because a lot of them were older, they'd been there a long time, thought they were going to be like, "Oh, what's this young guy know? Oh." How some people are like that. Every company's got their bad apples. But as I'm sitting there, they're all nodding. Some are taking notes. They're like, you get the vibe, and I'm getting this vibe like, man, you guys don't need this. But they understand the concept of recharging your attitude. And then I look over at Rick. Rick's on the side. He's just like, yeah. And when you're ADD, I'm just like, this is a problem. And so I start talking to people afterwards, and some of the old timers. I'm like, is that guy always like that? And they're like, as long as I've known him, he's been like that. He's pure energy. He's awesome. And then when we were done, Rick goes, "Come to my office." So we prance down to his office. We get down there, and I could see why he was the way that he was. Rick, he's a fan of personal and professional development. He had this amazing library. He had all the greats there. Jim Rohn, Zig Ziglar, Brian Tracy, Les Brown. He had all their books. I was just like, this is awesome. He goes, anybody here can check these books out. He goes, they can keep them, they can give them to their kids. And then he said something really interesting. I could tell he was a fan of these guys because he was using their language. He said this, he goes, "I want my people to work harder on themselves than they do their job." You don't hear a lot of leaders say that. You want them to, a lot of leaders you hear, "You get to work, slap the whip. I'm paying you." But he says, if they work harder on themselves, he says, when they become great at who they are, they become awesome at what they do.
Rain on my face hasn't stopped raining for days. My world is a flood. Slowly I become one with the mud. But if I can't swim after 40 days, and my mind is control. A dark sky all around. Can't feel my feet touching the ground, but if I can't swim after 40 days in my mind.